And welcome to the Healthy Happy Hour Kitchen. We're getting everything ready today. Today's program is going to be in memory and a salute and a tribute to Jimmy Buffett. We're making margarita shrimp. Now, some of this is recipes that I've gotten, and some I've added to it in order to make this a margarita shrimp for Jimmy Buffett's memory. So, of course, you know he passed away a couple of weeks ago, and for Jimmy Buffett, I did not know this until recently. Jimmy wound up in Nashville as a writer for Rolling Stone magazine. And how cool is that? I did not know that. So first of all, this was originally a margarita chicken, and I changed it into shrimp in honor of obviously of Jimmy Buffett. So we're getting the vein out. Now I've got one of those fancy veining tools, and you know what? I found that a paring knife just works better. Just take your knife and come around, make a little incision. And here's an interesting thing for you, a little bit of motivational speech to you. You know, incision is when you cut into something. We all know about having surgery and having to take care of an incision later. Well, a decision, when you make a decision to do something, you are cutting off something. So it's basically the root form of scission, which means to make a cut. Incision means to make a cut in. Decision means to make a cut off. So whenever you make a decision to do something, you're actually just cutting off everything else but that one opportunity. So how's that for information, sweetheart? We have had an interesting day. Debbie's mother fell last night, and we've just been to the hospital today down near Atlanta and found out she broke her hip. You told them a little bit about that.
She broke her hip, and she conked her head, and she skinned her skin up a good little bit, and she's kind of black and blue, but she's going to be okay. But we're a little late getting in today and getting started, so forgive our kitchen looking like a wreck. We just didn't have the time today that we normally have.
Yeah, and also PJ is awfully frustrated because he hasn't seen us all day long, but he's over here meowing like crazy. By the way, tell them what interesting fact you heard about cats meowing.
Oh, I read online that cats meow at humans, never at each other.
What do they do at each other? Because you hear them all the time scowling. They go,
well, yeah,
whatever that is.
Do that. I don't know how true that is, but that's just something I read.
Well, we told you. Did we tell you last week about Debbie's eye surgery? Had we had that by the time we did the show?
We had.
Well, she had her follow-up visit today, and they say everything's going well.
My stitches are really bothering me.
You know, they sucked all the fluid out of her eye. Isn't that just... You know what? The first thing that comes to mind.
It's great because all the cloudiness and the.
Yeah, it's a very successful surgery.
Yes, it was very successful. All the floaters are gone, and I see colors better.
But what I don't understand is who's the first person that said, "Hey, come on and suck all the liquid out of my eye. Let's see how it's going to go." You know, my first thought was you're going to have a raisin in there instead of a grape.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not the case. They did a great job and. Went well, and so she's seeing better, and it will be an overall much better thing for her. So that's good news. As you see, just finding these veins and pulling them out is so much easier than trying to do it with that special tool I've got. You know, I love kitchen gadgets, but there's some kitchen gadgets that just aren't worth buying.
What's wrong with just eating them with the vein in?
Because the vein has nasty stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the vein is the colon.
Oh.
Yes.
Don't want that.
No, so we lovingly call it the vein, but it ain't the vein. You know what I mean?
It ain't a vein.
Yeah. So at least that's my understanding.
Okay.
So today we're doing this margarita shrimp, and we're going to get all the vein material out of there. And it's you know, margarita. What's the main ingredient of margarita? Tequila, right?
Right.
Well, we're not using tequila. You know what we're doing? You know, tequila provides a little bit of acidity because of the alcohol, and it provides a little bit of sweetness because tequila is very sweet. So for the alcohol, we're using lime juice. You know how you put a lime in margaritas? It's basically lime juice and tequila. Well, we're using lime juice, and we're using sugar-free maple syrup as our sweetener. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to grab a wet paper towel and clean the veins.
You put the lime in the coconut.
Off of this thing. Do what?
You put the lime in the coconut.
Well, yeah. One of my favorite songs, Harry Nilsson, put the lime in the coconut and shake it all around. But anyway, that's almost what you do.
All right. So now they're clean.
So now those, and I tell you what, these are beautiful Argentinian shrimp. I bought the 4 to 6 pound per shrimp per pound. Well, obviously this is not pounds, so these are more like 14 to 20 per pound. I was wanting great old big
So
shrimp.
if you don't get great big ones, you don't cut them in half?
Well, I'm butterflying them. I'm not cutting them in half. I'm butterflying.
Okay.
I want
You're
more
opening
space.
them up.
So I'm going to butterfly these, and that just means I'm just spreading them out. And as they start to cook, they'll spread open. I'm going to put Parmesan. I'm going to put mozzarella cheese on these. So I got to have some surface area for the mozzarella to stick to.
Okay.
So that's why I'm butterflying. So I'm just taking the shrimp about halfway down. I'm splitting it. Now there's a good, nice big one, but again, it's not quite 4 to 6 per pound. But these are beautiful Argentinian red shrimp.
And where did we get these?
Don't know.
Kroger?
Somewhere a specialty store.
Oh, it was not Kroger?
Uh,
It was Kroger, wasn't it?
yes.
Just an unusual
Every-
place to find them.
Everything else is from Quality Foods.
Yes.
And matter of fact, I was just in there today buying goodies at Quality Foods, and I got my favorite. Show them that. My favorite veggie of all time, I think. It has become my new favorite, rutabaga. So that's what a rutabaga looks like.
It's such an ugly vegetable.
It looks almost like a big old turnip. And I mean, they're huge. I got the smallest one they had. Look at the size of that. I used half of it today. I'm going to be using that for our, call it rice, call it grits. I don't care what you call it, but it's going to be served over a bed of rutabaga. So we're looking forward to doing that for you. All right, so there's.
Murray wants a margarita.
Well, yeah. I understand. However, that ain't happening on this program, Roger. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to get that going. I'm going to get that pan hot. I'm going to get these shrimp going in it, and I need to put them back in this bowl for the time being because I want to take a little bit of, and I gotta rinse my hands off again. Pardon me. Take a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil in there. And I'm going to work that in just like that.
Chad Haley's watching.
And I'm going to put a little salt in there, and I'm going to do the same with the salt. Hey, Chad. Hey, Roger, by the way, I didn't speak to Roger. Hey, Roger. So we're going to let that get hot, and we're going to let it do its thing. Again, washing the hand. A lot of hand washing goes on in the early parts of this. Now, these shrimp will only take 5 or 6 minutes, so I'm not going to put them in for a while. I'm going to let that pan just sit there and get warm. Now, meanwhile, over in this pan, I am going to take, excuse me, sweetheart. I'm going to take these 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to mince them up.
I think
PJ is
wants
quite
some
talkative
shrimp.
today. I bet he does. He smells that shrimp. Tell him what he does around
Yogurt. He
Yogurt.
goes crazy.
Yeah.
I can get the yogurt container out of the refrigerator, get a spoon out of the drawer, and not even pull the top off the yogurt, and he is already begging.
And yet you take anything else out, like a salad dressing that's in the same kind of
and
container,
it's not the same
and he
reaction.
doesn't have any interest in it whatsoever.
It's
Isn't that
yogurt.
crazy?
It is.
Just yogurt. He's
Yogurt.
a yogurt loving fool.
He is.
Okay, we're mincing up our garlic. And I'm going to have this garlic ready to put on the shrimp almost at the end of the process.
That's 4 cloves.
Yeah, and it depends on what size cloves you've got. I just chose to put 4 cloves in there. I like things garlicky. I think Debbie kind of likes things garlicky too.
Yeah, I do.
So you can have too much, but that's a rare occasion to have too much garlic for us. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. All right, now let me set it aside over there. I'm going to do a little something different with my peppers today. I'm going to go in and cut the veins out of them this way, or cut the ribs out, I should say,
That's
and
the
the
way
seeds.
I've always done it.
Yeah, because I want to make these in rings. I want these to look pretty. So we're going to do these in rings. So I'm going to take them and just cut them like this and make neat little rings. So much for the rings for that one, and I'll cut these up into little slivers. I get tickled at Debbie. Debbie, first time, one of the first movies we went to, Debbie had trouble with the word sliver and the word slither, and she was talking about Actually, it was a Bruce Willis movie, and he was he was slithering down the side of a building, and she was saying he was slivering down the side of the building. It took me a long time to figure out exactly what she was talking about because I was not familiar with that term.
I have a few words like that.
Well, we all have words like that. I think that we mess up at times.
Gloria Keller is one.
Hey, Gloria.
Gloria Cheek, actually.
Gloria Keller Cheek, yeah.
And Joseph McClellan.
Well, I tell you what, we have a lot of different McClellans that watch this program. Glad to have you all
Freeman.
on. Lebo, man, he gave me the nicest compliment today. Thank you, Lee. It's so nice to. He was talking about, we were sharing stuff online, and he was talking about what a blessing that we both are to people, and I appreciate that because our goal, as I told you in that comment, our goal is just to help. We're trying to help as many people as possible. I told Kyle Johnson at Acre Davis, a funeral home here in Toccoa, I said, I'm not trying to put y'all out of business. I don't think that's possible. I'm just slowing it down to people to get there as much as possible. So that's what we're trying to do.
Well, Debbie Roberts is on.
Debbie, hey, we got to get together, Debbie. Man, we got to get together. Okay, the oil is going in. And so I've got that, I have 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil going in. Peppers are going to go into that. So we're going to let that get nice and happy, as Emerald says, in there. You notice I have a lot of references to Bobby Flay and Emerald Lagasse and Martha Stewart.
I know who you watch.
People I see on Food Network. Yeah. So we're going to let those just get a little oil around them and ready to go. Oh, it might help to actually turn the burner on instead of it just sitting there with the juice going. So now over here, I'm going to take just a low heat right there, and I'm going to put, let me put just a little extra virgin olive oil in here too. This is my rutabaga. And you call it rice, call it grits, call it whatever you want to. I have, first of all, I did it through the spiralizer to make kind of noodles out of it. I just wanted to chop it up, in other words. Then I ran it through the food processor and riced it. Again, you think of shrimp and grits, you think of shrimp and rice. Call it whatever you want. It's about the size of rice. And I'm going to put that in and let that just start to cook a little bit. Now, I don't want it to cook much, but I don't want it to get soft. I just want it to
brown
a little and get warm. And, you know, because rutabaga, you can eat raw. It's like a turnip. You can eat a turnip raw. Yeah, yeah. So now we're also making part of this is a pesto. You have to put a basil pesto in it. Now, Debbie, I'm going to ask you a question. When you think of the word pesto, what do you think that's derived from?
Oh, Italy.
It's Italy, that's right. It has Latin flavor and also Italian flavor. If I said it this way, pesto, what do you think it might be? Paste. A paste, right. That's exactly what pesto means. Pesto means paste. And we're going to make a pesto,
That's
which
the
is
Italian word for paste?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here is a whole bunch of basil. We don't want the stems. We want, because stems are a little bitter. So we're going to put the basil in the food processor, and we're going to make our pesto. So we're going to take the pesto, and we're going to pulse this just until this becomes really a paste. So just hang on with me a second. And I'm going to have to, pardon me, sweetheart, while I got to get out a spatula, and I'm going to work down these extra leaves that didn't get up there and get chopped up. So we're going to take that and do that like that. Then we're going to finish that off. Okay. Now to that, we're going to put a couple of cloves of garlic, and obviously we don't want them with the skin on. So I'm going to come over here, the paper on them. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take the paper off, but I don't have to do anything to them because they're going to go in and be ground up. So we're going to let those go in there.
Cherie is watching.
Hey, Cherie. Cherie, apologize. You didn't get last week's program, last couple of weeks' program. So,
oh, my goodness.
Cherie, you're falling down on the job, girl.
Levo says we've got some beautiful colors going on here.
Yeah,
and we do.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I love good cooking where you got a lot of colors.
Ones?
The recipe didn't call for yellow this
Oh
time.
my goodness.
I've got yellow in the freezer, but I'm not doing it this time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to... Now, you see what we've done there? Okay, now we're going to put in a few extra things. We're going to put in the juice of a lime. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to cut my lime in half. Again, all of this margarita type stuff going on. So we're going to juice that lime. So I got the juice of a half lime. Now I got the juice of a whole lime. So that's going in.
Okay, that gives it some liquid.
That gives it some liquid, and that gives it the flavor we're looking for. I'll put that back down. It's not doing very much right now.
No,
It's just kind of sitting there doing its thing. Do what?
Need to stir it up.
Yeah, well, I tell you what I need to do. I need to start putting in... I've got to start drizzling in my
Your oil.
my oil. I'm not sure that's enough for the blades to actually hit and do anything. We'll see. Oh, got to pull this part out so I can drizzle it. And I am just pouring on top of everything. Nothing is going round and round. Okay.
Let's stir it up a little bit.
So, when in doubt, stir it up. Johnny Nash did a little song back in the 70s called Stir It Up. So that's what we're going to do. Stir it up.
I think your blade is too high for
Well, it's got low blades too. See, there's a low blade down there,
Oh,
but
is
that
it?
low blade is not doing its thing.
Marie Whiten is watching.
Hey, Marie. Glad you're here with us this afternoon. All right, here we go. Okay. Well, here's the coup de grace. This is going to do it. I'm going to put this Parmesan cheese in. Well, first of all, 2 tablespoons of pine nuts. Pine nuts is traditional in pesto as well. And so let me see if I can get them to crunch up a little bit. Well, we're making a little headway, I think. You know, people ask me, they said, have you ever made these recipes before? No, it's first time out. I don't try this stuff before I do it. Some of the recipes I have, but most of the time I am just going off the cuff. First time I've ever made things. So
And this is live TV.
That's right. It's live TV, and you're learning as I'm learning. So here's the Parmesan cheese.
You got a different blade you can put in?
No, not really. It's doing well. It's just not incorporating as well as I would like for it to. I've got a mini food processor. For this amount, the small amount, I probably should have used it because it would have been up higher in it. But anyway. Hey, it's going to take like pesto, no matter whether it's tasty or not. So,
Michael Rice is watching.
Michael, hey man, glad to have you joining us today. As far as I remember, it's the first time you've been on with us, so thank you for joining in with us. Okay, so that's going in there. We'll use the pesto here in a minute. All right, in the meantime, let me grab a wooden spoon. I love wooden spoons. I like good wooden spoons too.
Marilyn Briscoe is watching.
Who?
Marilyn Briscoe.
Marilyn, hey, glad to have you with us.
That's looking good.
Yeah, that's looking really good. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt in there. That needs to be salted. So we're going to put a little salt in there. Meanwhile, these peppers are doing grand.
So pretty.
Getting a little color on them, so they're doing good. All right, so now we've got our shrimp, and I'm going to take these shrimp. I'm going to use a little cooking spray, and I have learned the hard way to take it off the heat when you do that. Otherwise, it flames up. Yeah, and in case you're wondering, I am a huge believer in gas stoves. We had an electric stove for so many years, and it's just not the same thing. You just don't, I don't know what it is about it, but I love gas, and I like to make sure that whenever we go somewhere, we have a gas stove available. We're going on a little anniversary trip in about 3 weeks. So,
our 30th anniversary.
Yeah, our 30th anniversary. And we are looking forward to that trip immensely. And I may or may not be doing a show. Chances are I will not, because we're going to arrive on a Tuesday.
We're going to be eating out.
Yeah, we're going to eat out. We enjoy doing that. Now, if you're not familiar with our health program, yes, we do get to eat out. And I tell you what we do on vacation. Normally, we eat out. We eat one meal a day, one large meal, like these lean greens that we're fixing. We eat one of those a day. But whenever we're out, tooling around and seeing things, we try to eat
2 meals a day.
Yeah, 2 meals a day. Because what's the fun of traveling if you're not going to be able to eat out?
That doesn't sound accurate either, because we eat small.
We eat very small meals. We eat 6 meals a day. If you want to get technical about it, we eat 6 meals a day. I'm going to put my
4 of them on vacation, though.
Right. We still eat 6 meals a day, but we only do 2 of them out, and then 2 of our what we call fuelings that are part of our, I guess you want to call it, diet program, our weight loss program, and we eat those while we're out. But we decided whenever we're out on vacation, the beauty of going on vacation is eating out. Man, you want to eat out.
Right.
So
Marilyn
that's one of the
Briscoe
things we do.
Watching.
Who?
Marilyn?
Yeah,
Briscoe?
we talked to Marilyn a little while ago.
Oh, do
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Welcome again.
Yes, welcome again.
That's smelling good.
It is good. Now, these shrimp take a little longer to cook through, just simply because
they're so big.
They're bigger. But they still are, decent size to work with. So these are doing really, really well. And this is just for 2 servings. So this is just enough for Debbie and me tonight. Yes, we can have that much shrimp, half of that each. We can have that much on this program.
Good. Browning nicely.
Yeah, browning up well. And also the...
And what are you going to do with the pesto?
I'll show you. Okay, so the shrimp is done enough that I can now put it in with the peppers. So we're going to dump it in with the peppers and all of that garlic that's there. Okay, so now several things are going to happen as we finish up here. Several things are going to happen. This is Old Bay seasoning. It would not be shrimp getting ready to boil, as Jimmy Buffett says, if it didn't have some Old Bay seasoning on it. So we're going to put that right on the shrimp itself, some Old Bay seasoning.
Is it hot?
No, Old Bay is not hot.
Okay.
That's not hot at all. We are going to take these cherry tomatoes, and we're going to go ahead and cut them and have them ready. Got an escapee. I'm going to just cut them in half, so just hang on a second while I do that. And I know I'm left-handed. Everybody says they think I'm backwards when I'm cutting stuff, but I'm left-handed, so that's the way it works for me. Okay, I'm going to take some basil, and I'm going to stack this basil together. I'm going to stack all the leaves together, and I'm going to show you what we do. We stack them all, and then we roll them all up. We roll and roll and roll, and then we start cutting them like this. Now, that's a process called chiffonade.
Chiffonade.
Chiffonade. So we chiffonade our basil. So that's going to be a garnish that we put on. Okay, so all that's looking just really, really good. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to take some mozzarella cheese. I want to spread the shrimp out a little. Because I'm going to take this mozzarella. This is finely shredded mozzarella. And I'm going to put that on the shrimp itself. Now, this is low moisture, 2% milk fat mozzarella cheese. So make sure you get the good stuff.
This comes from Quality?
Yes, Quality Foods.
Great.
Yeah, and I'm going to now take my tomatoes and I'm going to place them in here. Not really cooking the tomatoes. They're going to go in. And I want this down very, very low. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off because I don't want this browning anymore. Everything is cooked through right now that's supposed to. All right, now comes the pesto. So the pesto is just going to go in various places on here. It's just going to kind of be on the shrimp. Again, my pesto should have gotten a little more pasty, but it's still going to taste the same. Doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that every bite has a little pesto in it. Pesto is a great, great thing. Okay, now I'm going to take something else here. This is the sweet part. The sugar-free maple syrup is going in. Isn't that cool? Put the maple syrup in.
Yeah.
The pepper is going to go on top of each of the tomatoes. And that's just a little bit of pepper that I'm putting on the tomatoes. You know, tomatoes need a little bit of peppery taste. Debbie likes pepper on her tomatoes, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going on there. I got one I missed. Let me see if I can get that on. Okay, now we're going to garnish with a little bit of fresh basil. We're going to take the juice of a half lemon and put in just for acidity.
So we've got lime and the other
to finish
kind,
it off.
lemon.
Yep. So lemon goes in there. And now also the other half lemon goes in our rutabaga. And again, if you've not used rutabaga, let me tell you, we make potato salad out of it.
It tastes just like potato
salad. We
salad.
make so many different things out of it. It's unreal. So I think that is done and ready to go. So we're going to plate.
Going to plate.
Time to plate.
Susie Bennett has joined us.
Hey, Susie. Glad you're with us today. Let me taste this. Touch more salt. Okay. Here we go, sweetie. You ready for a plateful?
Sure.
What is that prayer that Sheldon said his mother makes him say? For everything we are grateful, for every mouth and every plateful, or something like that. Yeah. Whatever it is, anyway. Let's see. Where's my little fish spatula? I'm going to take this out with a fish spatula because this needs to kind of lay on top. Well, it's not doing as I had planned.
Never does.
Never does. Yeah.
Tastes just the same.
Oh.
Though. There you go.
My buddy,
that's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah. I don't know who I was talking about. Jay Langtot. That's who I was going to talk about. My buddy Jay Langtot, who is he's the culinary chef for the airlines. And he put some of the most beautiful presentations online. Jay, I know you're probably listening to this. He lives in Texas, and he's been threatening to come out here and do a cooking show with me. And he would show me up. I can't wait for him to come and show you the real way to cook things. But anyway, he makes some of the most beautiful presentations online. And I told him, I said, gosh, I wish I could make food that looks as good as what you do. One of these days, I'm
okay.
And with a nod to Mr. Jimmy Buffett, and in memory of him, it's Margarita shrimp, found our lost shaker of salt. So anyway, for all of us here at the Healthy Happy Hour, glad you tuned in today. If you want to get healthy, if you want to learn more about health, just ask me. I'd be happy to help you. Got over 600 clients that are doing well, and we'd like for you to do well on this program also. Anyway, we hope you have a great day. Join us on Sunday mornings at our class at Ebenezer Baptist Church. Man, we'd love to have you in our H2O class. That stands for Him to Others. We have such a great time, and there's such great prayer warriors and great partners with us, and we'd like to have you there as well. Mm-hmm. Have a good evening. Enjoy yourselves. Make this Margarita shrimp. You'll enjoy it. See ya.